One evening, my wife sat across from me at the dinner table. Her expression was stiff, her eyes sharp and unyielding. She inhaled slowly and said without emotion, "I want a divorce." For a moment, I just stared. My chest tightened, but instead of crumbling, I leaned back calmly, composed. The shock on her face was almost amusing. She had clearly expected tears, a plea, maybe even a scene. What she didn't realize was that I had long suspected something. The secret calls with her best friend, the hushed whispers at night, the sly little grin she couldn't completely hide, it all hinted at a larger plan. She thought she was being cunning, but I had been watching carefully. Later, I discovered the whole scheme. Her friend had said, "Tell him you want a divorce. He'll panic, he'll cling to you, and then you'll know he's yours." It was a trap designed to humiliate me, to strip away my dignity. What they didn't expect was my silence. For 4 days, I acted as though nothing had changed. I went to work, made dinner, laughed, and slept peacefully. My wife observed me closely, her patience thinning, waiting for a crack to appear. But I gave her nothing. Meanwhile, I was quietly preparing. I examined our finances and found it. Hidden transfers, reckless spending, even a secret account under her name. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I collected everything, methodically building a quiet arsenal of evidence. Revenge doesn't need noise, it thrives in secrecy. Her friend kept appearing, whispering, egging her on. Once I overheard them laughing, convinced I would soon be begging at my wife's feet. They had no idea that while they plotted my downfall, I was crafting theirs. Then one night, my wife finally snapped. "Why don't you care if I leave? Aren't you going to fight for me?" she shouted. I met her gaze evenly. "If you want to leave, then leave. But remember, every choice comes with a cost." My calmness unnerved her, though she didn't fully understand yet. Over the next week, I transferred money from our joint accounts into one under my name. I hired a lawyer, gave him all the evidence I had gathered, and initiated the divorce on my terms. By the time she realized what had happened, her cards were blocked, her secret savings frozen, her imagined safety net absorbed into the case. Panic replaced her arrogance. She turned to her friend for guidance. But the friend vanished when the game turned ugly. When I finally confronted my wife, I laid the bank records, screenshots, and legal papers in front of her. "You wanted to play," I said coldly. "I don't play to lose." Her color drained. She begged, cried, insisting it had been her friend's idea. But her pleas no longer mattered. In court, she lost nearly everything. The house, the accounts, even the car, thanks to the reckless transfers she assumed were invisible. When the dust settled, her so-called friend was gone, and she was left utterly alone. She had imagined me broken, kneeling at her feet. Instead, she stood outside, suitcase in hand, staring at the man she had tried to destroy. I didn't raise my voice, didn't curse. I simply closed the door behind her, letting the silence strike the final blow. Her friend was wrong. I never begged. What I did was far worse. I forced them both to learn the cruelest truth. When a loyal man's love is weaponized against him, he can become the coldest enemy you'll ever face.